A warm welcome to Business Daily right here on Trust Television. I am Yusuf Akogu. Let's take our business top stories. Glad to have you back. Now let's go to the stock market and give you a highlight of the stock trading as it went down on Wednesday on the floor of the Nigerian stock market. There's a rebound yesterday from what we had from the previous trading session. 0.17% the market ended on Tuesday. About 115 basis points was added to the all share index. A volume of trade 410.320 million, value at 4.456 billion naira in the days of 5,637 exchange hands among investors on the day. Let's look at the gainers quickly. The top gaining equity, Thomas Way, gaining 9.81% there to close at 2 naira and 35 kobo. If you go down, Darkom is back on the gainers table today, 9.52% it gained to close at 23 kobo per share. And of course, Cornerstone Insurance gaining 6.45% to close there at 1 naira 65 kobo. The top losing equities as well, Omatech 8.33% down yesterday to close at 44 kobo per share. Oando down 8.08% to close at 9 naira and 11 kobo. This is one of the most attractive equities equity on the floor of the Nigerian stock market. Afriprod closed at 6 naira 50 kobo, down there 7.80% on the day. Let's look at the top traded equities by volume. Nigerian International Pharmaceutical Company, 163 million volume of its shares were traded by investors of that company on Wednesday. Access Bank Holdings, the mother company of Access Bank, 39 million volume of shares. And of course, Zenith Bank PLC, the two tier 1 banks, making it to the top trading equities table today, 32.3 million volume of shares each traded on the day. Let's look at the rest of Africa and see how the African continent is also looking like it's green in Joburg, 0.41% there in Johannesburg Stock Exchange. If you go down to Ghana here and the West African neighbor, 0.02% negative downward there it ended. And in Nairobi, despite the positive outlook from the IMF report, the Nairobi Stock Exchange is down 0.64% on Wednesday. Of course, these are the highlights of the stock trading, and we hope that the trading is on right now. Quite a whole lot of decisions is being made by investors, and we hope that at the end of the day, key investment decision will be made that will make some of this market to rebound back to the positive side of the market. Now, let's talk to a stockbroker now who joins me virtually from Lagos, Jamiu Mohammed. He's a stockbroker from APT Securities and Funds Limited. Good morning, Mr. Jamiu.
Good morning. Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here.
Glad to have you, Mr. Jamiu. Let's look at how the market is looking like this morning. But before then, let's look at the federal government price dropped by 90% in about 2 months, despite
That's what I was saying. What I want to say last time was telling me my next weekend when you try to treat it. When that's what else is doing.
Hello, Mr. Jami, are you there? Okay, Mr. Jami, go ahead with your line of thought.
I can hear you from the studio. I can hear you from the studio. If you can hear me.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can barely hear you.
Hello, can you hear me now? I can hear you loud and clear.
Yes, I think it's better now.
Okay. I'm saying
I think it's better now.
Talk about the FGN bond that has dropped by about 90% on the in the last 8 months on NGS. We seem to be having difficulties in connecting to Jami Mohammed. Let's take a very quick break now. When we return, we'll go back to that discussion. Don't go away. Glad to have you back now. Jamiu Mohammed is back online from Lagos, there, live from the trading floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Hello, Mr. Jamiu. Can you hear me now?
I hear you clearly.
Okay. I was saying that tell us about the FGN bond market that has dropped by about 90% in the last 8 months. What could be responsible for this decline that we are seeing, or the lack of interest in FGN bond?
Good morning, viewers. It's a pleasure to be here on the program. The issue with bond generally is the issue around the confidence that the investor has about the government. And you know what bond actually means is that is a kind of right that a lender, a lender collects from a borrower. So when this issue, you know, FGN bond is a sovereign bond. It's a bond that is attached to the sovereignty of a nation. And whenever the country or that nation seems to be doing good, or I mean, the economic activities and also all other things that you may count as being positive to that particular something of that nature is happening, then it's definitely going to affect the activities or the confidence the investor has on the bond being issued by that sort country. So in such a situation, in this situation that we find ourselves, the country has the issue of stability, political stability as we speak. We have our federal, the government has issue. I mean, the current president has issue of electoral issue being decided at the court, and nobody knows which way the likely the swing and the judicial decision is going to swing into. So this thing is a kind of a situation whereby the investor needs to sit down and look what is going to be the direction, and also look at the other issue that we're having in our economy. FX issue is there. You see the backlog that has not been cleared and all those things around economy, and also look at our foreign reserve is being depicted day by day. These things are something that we need to investor actually think twice about before they take particular position. So all those that have the bond, those that have the bond, the trading at the second market is because those that have the bond wants to transfer it to another person who is interested in that particular bond. But as we speak today, there are investors that are a bit watching and a bit careful on what they do or what to invest in. So that is why you see some bond trader are still on board. These buyer are still on board, but we are yet to see the seller are on board right now, and we are yet to see the buyer to become on board to be able to take them out. And that is why you see that low level of activities on the bond trading in the market as we speak.
If you look at it, you talk about low activities in that segment of the market, but despite these low activities, we see again a listing of a bond on Tuesday. About 11.7 billion additional units were listed according to the statement from Lillian Darko, that is the head listings regulation department of the federal government. So despite all of this, government is it going ahead? Is it more like I don't know how to put it now, are they trying to make sure that investors actually patronize this segment of the market?
Yes, in this situation that we have, the government is the bond that is being listed is the one that has been issued by the government, and there's a process of issuing the bond, and another process is the listing it on the exchange. So when you see a situation whereby a bond is listed, and if you look at those bonds that's been listed right now, they have higher rates than what was issued like a year or 2 years ago, because of the fact of the inflation rate, interest rate, another contributory factor to the rate at which these bonds are issued. So those bonds that are listed currently seems to be patronized by the investor than what was listed year or 2 years ago. Those bonds that are to be traded that made the activities on the floor of Nigerian stock exchange were bonds that were listed a year ago on 2 years ago, and this bond were a bit low in terms of the interest or in terms of the coupon rate that they tend to give the investor. So, and this thing sounds unattractive to new investor, to new investor that want to take possession of this particular bond. But the one that's been listed recently, they have higher rates, and they tend to have a better coupon that have a better rate of return on this bond. Looking at the rate that as we have it today, inflation rate, interest rate, and the like that are determinant of this rate they issue these bonds.
All right, Jamiu, before we go now, in 30 seconds, please give us the summary of how the stock market is looking like right now.
Right now, the stock market, NGS is now trading at about 440 45 million worth of stock traded this morning, and around 40 million. Around 40 million, and the ASA has gained 0.02%. During the day, as we speak now, the activity is low because of the fact that there's a lot of outstanding issues that need to be determined before investors take decision on what to do and what to go. So investors are being a bit cautious about what to do in the market, and that is why you see the activities in the market are a bit quiet, and you see that the average daily trading is around 4 billion, 3 billion, 4 billion, and what we used to have when the activity used to be okay, we are talking in the region of 10 billion average trading by day. But as we speak, we are just having 10 billion worth of stock being traded. So the activities in the market is a bit quiet for now until a lot of decision has been taken. One, we have seen a situation whereby the monetary policy have not held their meeting to be able to decide on some of the numbers that the stock market will.
Hello, I must thank you. Jamiu Mohammed is an equity trader at APT Security, talking to us all the way from Lagos, the trading floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. I must thank you for your contribution on Business Daily this morning.
Thank you very much.
All right. Now we go to another very important topic. Now back in the studio now, we're looking at the cooking gas price that has hit over at 1,000 naira per kg now. This is one of the commodity that is used by a majority of Nigerians. And at this time, we are seeing the price continue on the upward trajectory. What is the implication of this on the livelihood of Nigeria? I have joining me in the studio Dr. Lanre Oluwaniyi. He's a public affairs analyst. Glad to have you.
Thank you for having me.
I'm sure you are directly affected by this.
Definitely.
So tell us, what is the implication of all of these things? Cooking gas is, I don't know, initially when this government came in and the subsidy was taken off the fuel, there was some respites in the area of gas. There was a decline in the price, but all of a sudden the price is coming back again on the high side.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you for having me. It's a pathetic story because averagely majority of our people depend on the gas for cooking. Like before that, we all depend on kerosene. And I think kerosene stage has really reduced drastically.
Right.
About 80% of our people are into gas cooking. And if this is happening at the same time that we're having issue with PMS, it's a serious concern to every one of us, and it's a sign that we are really battling with a lot of economic action. And I will not rule out the fact that there is a market forces, because we are all aware already that there is no subsidy on gas before. And so there is no subsidy on AGO. Mm-hmm. We only have subsidy on PMS. So since there is no subsidy on those products, definitely market forces is going to occur. And I always tell people, immediately there is a strike in Israel and Palestine, definitely I know something is going to change radically. Mm. Yes.
All right, talking about things changing radically, there is talk about a disruption in supply. We keep hearing this kind of information anytime there's an issue in the economy, disruption in supply. What kind of disruption?
Yes, there is a sabotage. You know, a lot of things are happening in the Niger Delta region, where a lot of saboteurs frustrated the effort of the government on one way or the other. In terms of, if you are talking about destructive, that means some of them are, you know, all these pipelines, oil debt, and all those stuff are going on, and we can't rule out corruption at the same time. So we are really battling with a lot of things. We are battling with oil debt, we are battling with insecurity, in the sense that the indigenous people are also crying about their own side, so that the pipeline is not well secured, and the arrangement with NNPC is not well settled. Right. So, and I believe all these things boil down to the federal government. Federal government need to quickly start looking at all these things holistically, because we can't avoid for our gas to be going up because it affected everybody, virtually everybody.
Now, the gas dealers are complaining that they are buying 20 metric tons of gas for 14 million naira at the depot. That is a huge amount. When you look at it now, that diesel has also increased to as much as 1.7 million. That is to take gas from Lagos to the north. That is the cost of transportation.
Yeah, because
do you think all of this thing is playing out in the new prices we're seeing?
Yes, like I said, all these products, their prices are determined by international market forces. We all know that. These are international products. So, and like I said before, maybe there is a strike, either from Russia against Ukraine or Israel against Gaza. Definitely something is going to happen. And there is no subsidy on all these products for a long time. So there is no way anybody can cushion any vet. So the way it comes, what we are needed to be talked about is what is the way forward. That will not make us to keep experiencing all this kind of market inflation.
But the market forces should be positive to the economy, because when you're talking about market forces, it means you have more than 2, 3, or 4, 5 sellers. So if Mr. A is not selling at the price that is commensurate to my own income, I can go to Mr. B and buy. Why is our own market forces always turn out negative?
What happened to our naira? We are dealing with dollar here. How much is dollar against naira today? That's the money you take to the market. You don't take naira to the market. You take dollar to the market.
International market.
International market. And so when immediately we have a problem with our naira, the naira, as far as we are concerned, the naira is getting weak on a daily basis.
All right, let's look at the alternative now. Now that you talked about earlier that the kerosene is becoming like old school. Yeah. Now the gas is going out of reach. What should Nigeria do?
The only way forward
should be the alternative? Should we go back to the olden days?
No, the only way forward is the federal government should, and the NPC should start working on all these refinery they promise us, Kaduna refinery, Warri refinery, Port Harcourt refinery, and let them give enough licenses to all these private sectors to build enough modular refineries. Because that is the only way forward. Give enough private sector at least, and give them timeline. When we are able to give you this
Nigerians have lost confidence in government. I know the past government did give out a lot of licenses for people to build modular refineries. 8 years down the line, we are still talking about issuing licenses.
No monitoring, no enabling environment. They don't create incentive for them. As at last 2 weeks or so, the federal government said they are going to release them. They are going to give a waiver on tax on diesel, and the private sector. Part of
the reason why part of their negotiation with the NLC.
So the private sector were happy that it goes a long way for them. So this you have to make giving them license is not the ultimate. What important most is support them, monitor them, support them as well. They may not have the total capital. How are you going to provide them a capital, a loan, a bond, so that they can be able to achieve all this, because at the benefit of everybody. So it's not about you have a license. You can have a license and keep it. And if you don't have capital,
at least there should be a timeline that if you have a license and you don't use it at this between so and so time, your licenses can be withdrawn.
I believe we are not yet serious in terms of business as far as Nigeria is concerned, as far as government is concerned.
All right. There is also, you talked about the refinery. The president gave us a timeline by December. But the
MD of NPC is changing the story.
It's expected to come up on stream.
But the MD of NPC changed the story about 3 days ago. In an event, he said he would not like to give any date or any timeline, but we should be expecting 2024. Yeah, that is
to come up by
2024. That automatically, technically, they have shifted off from December to 2024.
So, what does this say about the confidence of people in government when the people cannot hold government to their words?
That's what I'm saying. We are not serious. That's the truth, and it's quite unfortunate because we have all this in abundance. Yes, we have all this in abundance. We have the facilities, we have everything, we have the land, we have the environment, we have everything we need to. We as a nation that we need to have. All what is lacking, here is political will and the right people.
So
to do
have you lost hope in government?
Oh.
Because the truth of the matter is that you were one of those vocal voices during the campaign and all of that. Now, 5 months down the line, do you still, is your hope renewed? Let me ask
the issue there is that I don't lose hope in government, but what people don't seem to realize is that you speak or you believe in a particular candidate, it does not mean that when the particular candidate gets to power and is not doing what we expected as a citizen, and you will not criticize or you will not put them on their toes. That's not how a nation is run.
Don't you think we are in a hurry? We are hasty. Because it's not really easy for a government to hit the ground running, considering the kind of house cleaning that is going on in various government agencies, the CBN and so many other places.
There is no time that is too late or too young or too old. So that's what's important. The earlier you start kicking them, the better they wake up from their slumber. That's the reality of ground. Do you want our people to start dying before we start talking? No. We can't give them excuse.
All right.
Yeah, because you knew about it before you campaign for it, before you requested for the job.
All right.
So when you get there, you should be able to see. I'm not saying you should perform magic, but I'm just saying you should start thinking outside the box.
All right. The president did say that he is not ready to complain, that he is ready to fix the problem of Nigerians. He did say that he campaigned for it, he begged for the job, now he has the job. Yeah. So let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
I must thank you, Dr. Lanre Oluwaniyi, for your contribution this morning on Business Daily. With that is a wrap on the show today. Join us tomorrow for more. I am Yusuf Akugun.